Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. This is for the week of May 20th, 2021. The current character challenge is Suicide Squad Deadshot. That is a 1 week repeat. There are no requirements at normal difficulty, like all the other Suicide Squad characters, and there are only 9 fights at each ladder at normal difficulty 2, and then it jumps up to having requirements and then 12 fights on higher difficulty
the first 4
levels.
and then 15 on the last one like usual.
Yeah.
So later on, if you need to get past the normal level, I think you'll need Deathstroke, Lobo, and Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Bronze, gold, and gold, which is perfectly reasonable given that the first copy that unlocks in the store, it really doesn't, it's wide open for any new players, which is great. Yeah.
So that's good. The passive is I Never Miss, which is all aiming minigames have a 50% bigger sweet spot to attain max damage, which will be up from 200% to 250% damage, and if a Suicide Squad member is fighting, there is a chance for an off-screen assist from Deadshot. He's got 1,450 attack and 1,250 health. He was last available in July of 2020. Another thing to note with the challenge is that you get better prizes too, just like all Suicide Squad challenges. So that's a silver pack, a gear locker, and a gold pack instead of the usual bronze, then credits, then silver pack.
All right. So he was last available July 2020. Did you already mention that? So I was sort of half paying attention and half messing around because I just realized it occurs to me. I don't know why I'd never thought about it before. So when the passive says it goes up from maximum 200% to 250% and it's easier to get, I wonder if that's taken into account in the max damage that's listed.
Maybe.
I think it probably, for the way the numbers are listed, it seems like it's not, because the bottom is 46 and a bit and the top is 93 and a bit.
Yeah.
So so that actually is a real boost. You know, like I complain sometimes when a passive isn't so much a passive as it is a description of what the special is.
Mm-hmm.
So this looks like it is a 2-component passive.
Yeah. So he's got good stats.
Really high.
Yeah. And they're balanced in a good way, right? Balanced towards attack instead of health.
Right. And they mentioned the off-screen assist, which they don't describe in detail, but an off-screen assist means that the person who's there while Deadshot is off-screen can get an unblocked special. So you see that laser sight that tells you that.
And I like that they signal it to you too, because that is quite helpful actually to know when you have it.
Right. And that's when you need to spend your power.
Yeah.
Another nice feature of Deadshot is that his combo ender counts as 2 hits, so you get double gear effects. For example, Razzle Scimitar, Gauntlets of Azrael, Overpowered Super, so any combo ender effects are doubled, which is
and
nice.
chance to stun.
Yeah.
Which is solid.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So this week's multiplayer reward is Flashpoint Aquaman.
Oh, and that's not listed in his passive. I just realized.
It's bonus.
Bonus. Yeah.
So you have a chance of getting unblocked with other characters, and you have a chance of getting stunned with him.
Yeah, and that's as good as most people's passive. Like usually when that kind of stuff happens, they mention it in the passive.
Yeah.
So technically, he's got
Pretty
3 abilities in his passive. Yeah.
Yeah. So this week's multiplayer reward is Flashpoint Aquaman, whose passive is Barrier Reef. During combat, Aquaman has a chance on combo enders to call the ocean to his aid. This drains all his opponent's power by 10%, and Flashpoint characters on Aquaman's team gain a water shield on tag-in that reflects 40% of special damage back at the enemy. Once hit, the shield is used up until next tag-in. He's got 1350 attack and 1250 health. Last available in October of 2020. We're a healthy distance into an established schedule. There was a quick interruption a while ago, but we're 20 weeks with no interruption, so we expect to see Heart of Darkness for our reward next week.
So, really good high stats. Passive is just okay. It's not particularly game-changing. It's a defensive passive. Really, the most important part of him is that he is one of only 3 flashpoints. And he is one of only 2 players or 2 teammates that can take advantage of Flashpoint Batman's passive that boosts the crit damage. It used to be called something else, and now it's just boosted damage.
It used to be like Devastating Blows or something.
Yeah. So the next most important, actually, is that he is Flashpoint, which is exactly the same point I made last time. But Deathstroke benefits from him. Mm-hmm. So Deathstroke gets more hits on the combo ender and does extra damage on his special. So it's like one of those jokes where, rule number 1, don't talk about Fight Club. Rule number 2, don't talk about Fight Club. Rule number 3. So the best thing about him is he's Flashpoint. And the second best thing about him is he's Flashpoint, but they're actually two different things.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see him in the Flashpoint team that we use a lot of weeks, especially when we use the team to farm multiplayer, and what we used for the week that we got number 3, not top 3%, but number 3 in the multiplayer challenge. We like to gear him. Well, I guess you can watch the video and see how we like to gear him.
Yep, so there we go. In the store, we have the Red Sun pack. That is this week $24.99 Canadian. It was $26.99 Canadian the last time Suicide Squad Deadshot was the challenge.
So this is interesting too. Now that I'm paying attention, I'm noticing a pattern where the challenges seem to be in sync with certain booster packs.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it comes with 3 out of the 6 Red Suns. There's a 16% chance for each of Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Deathstroke, and Green Lantern. And Solomon Grundy has a 20% chance. He sort of gets the extra 4% from that's left over because it doesn't evenly divide into 16% for each. So, and obviously those are all Red Suns, right? So, I think that goes without saying.
Yeah. So the joke should be that the description should say, you get 16% each of the Red Suns that you want, and you get a 20% chance of getting Red Sun that you don't want.
Yeah, because Solomon Grundy, he's the health one too, so he's not fun to play. He doesn't have a good passive.
Yeah, and the passive doesn't actually help you in fights. In non-matchmaking fights. Like
it doesn't help you in online.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there we go. We also have the Rebirth Jessica Cruz Challenge Pack for 200,000 credits. It gives you a 6.16% chance of getting Rebirth Jessica Cruz versus the average 2.86% chance for every character. It doesn't unlock in the previous... it doesn't unlock in the store, sorry. And we have talked about this last time. We don't need to talk about it as much this time. But we did a little bit more detailed analysis. If you take into account selling back characters, and you assume that the only card that you want is this specific one, you do have sort of a competitive advantage buying this pack to and you'll spend less credits getting Rebirth Jessica Cruz.
Right.
But if you want a bunch of characters, it very quickly drops off and becomes a lot less valuable, because this is assuming that you're selling back every card that's not Rebirth Jessica Cruz.
But when you don't, and you're actually keeping them as an alternative to buying them, way better deal.
Yeah.
The regular challenge pack is much, much better if you want more than just Jessica Cruz.
Mm-hmm. So that's that one thing. But the next part is that it fits with our prediction very well from last week. So counting Suicide Squad Deadshot, we are 9 weeks into a repeat of 9 challenges that started last year in May of 2020. So if you count Rebirth Jessica Cruz as the 10th, assuming that next week is going to be her, then it's the first predictable pattern that we've seen in a really, really long time.
Okay. So if the pattern holds, next week should be Jessica Cruz, and the week after should be Suicide Squad Harley Quinn.
Yeah, so we're, fingers crossed. If that shows up, we'll have a good amount of time where we can actually predict stuff. Hopefully we're sort of seeing the edges of a pattern here.
Yeah.
So we'll obviously keep people updated.
A bigger pattern than we've had in ages.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
There we go. In our Survivor, we have the LuxCore gear set until the 2nd of June 2021 on one account, and that's the one we normally report from. But for the purpose of the video, we're on a different account. So that's why it says the 26th of May 2021 on the account that we're showing off here.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah. So we know that there's inconsistencies by about a week. We try to normally report from one consistent account, so at least we know what the offset is, but that's...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Phantom Zone. 1 more week left. Take advantage of it. Fight 62 still broken. Last week's breakthrough was Zatanna, Flash, Solomon Grundy as expected. This coming weekend then is probably Raven, Superman, and Arkham Knight. How do we know? We know because we kept track. And if you want to keep track yourself, there's a Reddit thread in the Injustice subreddit started by one of the mods, Devlin16, goes over a complete breakthrough cycle. Link is in the description.
Yeah, so there we go. Moving on to the current glitches, just remember that every working glitch is explained in a tutorial video as part of the playlist that you can reach by clicking the eye in the top right corner of this video. We are Android only, so we're only confirming these glitches for Android personally, and specifically we're Android 9 only, so we can't confirm for Android 10 or anything else, but we will have sort of tips in here for iOS and Android 10 users that we've collected from comments.
Yeah, so starting with significant not working, because the working ones, you can look in the playlist, right? Mm-hmm. There's no working glitch for credits. There was one that was being used with before the most recent update. And we'll link this again like we usually do, but in Season 6, Episode 9 of our P and Q and C and A and T, we talk a lot about the reasons why we do not endorse it, why we don't use it, why we don't teach it, why you should avoid it. Yeah. Dangerous. Risk of suspension, really, is the bottom line.
So there we go. There is nothing for getting repeated past multiplayer season rewards. There is nothing for getting early multiplayer season rewards in an exploitable way. There's nothing to get through the Phantom Zone supernaturally quickly, and you can't get free energy without watching the video. You can't skip the video anymore getting energy. You have to watch the video.
I've been teasing this for a while, but we still got that footage in the can for a run that was less than 12 minutes for complete Crystal, which is pretty darn good.
Yeah. Moving on to the working glitches.
All right, so Phantom Zone is here. Phantom Zone can be reset. That means you get to play it over and over again without paying for a buy-in with Nth Metal. But not only that, if you have paid for buy-ins and it's finished, you can actually reset it so that it's not finished anymore during the event. You can't do it after. Same as the challenge reset. Exactly same method. Reset progress on one, that means you reset progress on the other one. It's been tested and confirmed on the current Suicide Squad Deadshot challenge. Just remember that. You got to pay attention, because you don't want to take a chance that you're going to mindlessly reset and then realize, ooh, all that crystal progress I made is all gone.
Yep. So if you're on Android 10 and you need to re-download more than a gig of data when you clear app data, we have a possible solution in the description from user Tanmay Kakde. And if you are on iOS and you want to reset the glitch, use a glitch to reset the challenge. We've cut and pasted a comment from user Jonathan Yang on how to reset the challenge on an iOS device.
All right, so breakthrough glitch, still working. Airplane mode / refund glitch, still working. Again, check the videos if you want an explanation, a tutorial, and more of an explanation. Time shifting still works in Android for unlimited survivor play and Android recharges. Lots of people complain that events aren't showing up when they should. This is usually the problem if you time shift and don't shift back properly before you're done.
Mm-hmm. And in between not working and working glitches, the promotion glitch where you can promote characters that are still locked hasn't had the right conditions for a very long time. We'll keep it in here on a technicality. And that's it for this week. We'd like to give a huge thank you to all the lovely folks who support us on Patreon. That's Console Peasant and Edwoon at the top tier last word. That's Mohammed Albshaiti on the Your Message Here tier. Shawn Farrell, Daniel Simonson, Aaron Maule, Michael DeVries, Brandon C., Irvin Ruiz, and Eddydoo, who are supporting us on the credited level, and Chris Wolff, Scarlet Dani, Awesomegamer241, Pavu RS, Gavin, Mallott, and Isfar E at the gratitude level. Thanks so much for your support, and we'll see you next time.
Komoda. Yeah, I'm saving that.